with one of my business allies, Ms. Julie Mai, and we do this call once a week for our network marketing business. We are in the wellness industry, and we find that it is just an industry that people don't know a lot about. People, might be a little curious, but so we're here to just demystify it, essentially. I live out in the beautiful ocean on an island called Kauai, and about 7.5 years ago, I was minding my own business, doing my thing as a cookbook author. I used to own a restaurant out here. I was a private chef, and always obsessed slightly with the world of wellness. And I was also in a bit of pain. I suffered from migraines most of my life. And at that point, I had been having some residual back pain that was going on for years, and lots of recommendations to maybe try laser surgery and things like that. And I was definitely committed to finding a natural way out of pain, but pretty frustrated as it was taking years. And pain can be quite depressing, and just sort of a bundle of emotions that nobody really wants. My girlfriend came along and was pretty insistent that she felt that this herbal wellness formula that she had come across was going to help me with that pain. I was beyond skeptical, to say the least, but I gave it a whirl because she was my friend and she was perseverant. And I also knew that she was really into the business side of it, but I took the product to sort of check off the friend box, be a good friend, try my friend's product, support her new business, and was quite shocked when the pain left my body, when years of agonizing pain seemed to just evaporate. It also got my entrepreneurial self thinking. I was working from home already. We live in Hawaii to be pretty creative about how you earn money. So having one foot in the entrepreneur realm was always my thing. But I couldn't imagine that something like an herbal wellness formula, was going to be the answer to my career aims, So we do this Zoom to sort of shed light on how something that seems really simple when, your friend Kathy or your friend Polly Grace sort of pipes up with something like this, it can seem small. It can seem, like something that's very easy to overlook, because we don't really expect our friends and neighbors to have the solution to our health problems. And we certainly don't expect them to have for myself. I went to a meeting to look into this business, knowing that there's a world of people that are in pain. It's not just me. And I didn't show up to a meeting and hear about a product. I showed up to a meeting to a very inspired woman who had done a lot of research into this industry, and was seeing something really huge in front of us. And I'm so glad that she caught that vision, that she is a dreamer, because she planted a seed in me that maybe we could make this go beyond our community and beyond Hawaii. And we have both set up quite an international business at this point, 7.5 years later. So I'm going to turn it over to Julie. She's a jewelry designer, or her history is that of a jewelry designer, and in the last 8 years has tiptoed her way into being a very influential person in our industry, and all from a small town on a small island out in the middle of the ocean. So take it away, Julie, and feel free to share some of your dreams and visions with us.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. All good. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for being here. Not only, if you're a guest for the first time, I just want to welcome you to, just taking the the offer of the friend or the person that invited you to this call, because really, that's what this is all about. Is I just get so passionate, like Jennifer said, about really teaching people that they don't have to be suffering, that there is a better way, that there is a solution if you feel like you have a problem. And that's where I found myself 7.5, 8 years ago now already. Wow, it's crazy to think it's been that long. But I found myself working extremely hard. My husband and I had built a really lucrative, successful jewelry design company that was growing. And my husband was also in the construction industry. And we were, from the outside, looked like we had our stuff together. It looked like we were successful. We had 2 young girls at the time. We lived in a pretty nice house, had a nice car. So everyone thought, oh, they got it made. But, on the inside, I was screaming for something different. And I'm going to tell you why. It wasn't about the amount of money that was coming into my household. It was about the earning of the money and how much time it was taking away from the people that I wanted to be with the most. And those are my little people, my kids. My girls at the time were 2 and 5, 3 and 5. And I just remember that the more successful my business got, the more demand that we were in, the less time I was spending with them. And it just was pulling on my heartstrings. And I just knew that if I kept going, sure, maybe I'm going to make more and more money, but the most precious, special time with my kids, I'm going to miss because other people are raising them. And I wasn't willing to sacrifice that. So I was open-minded to the potential of maybe there's something different. I had no idea what that was going to look like. I didn't want to take on more work. I didn't want to quit what I was doing because I did love and have a passion for my business and for my jewelry design. And I just was like kind of in this funky place of what am I going to do? And that's when a friend reached out to me kind of on a wish and a hope that maybe I would see what she saw, which at the time she didn't even really understand what it was. And she invited me to see some information. And I will tell you this, that the information that she shared about the products, which Jennifer is going to touch on a little bit, was interesting. It definitely was. I was curious because I knew that it sounded different than some of the other products, some of the other supplements, all the other health and wellness claim they do this, and this, but a lot of times, unfortunately, they don't actually perform and they don't live up to the standards. So I was interested in the science, but it wasn't necessarily something that I was like excited to do. I didn't want to become all of a sudden a supplement seller or a vitamin pusher. Like that was not in the cards for me. But at the end of this little meeting that I heard, the presenter say that there was an opportunity to build residual income, that there was an opportunity to leverage your time in this type of industry. And that's what caught my mind. And that's really what I want to share with you guys tonight or today, wherever you may be in the world, is because that's what I got excited about. I got passionate about this idea that I could work with like-minded people and we could build our dreams together. And we wouldn't necessarily be selling products more than just inspiring people that, there's a way to go from an employee and small business owner to a big business owner, to a big, potentially an investor by building networks of like-minded people. And that's what I got really excited about. So my story, I got excited. Like Jennifer said, I caught the vision, didn't really understand the whole bigger picture, but I just jumped all in because I really started to research and I understood that some of the most successful people on the planet, I'll throw some names out there, Sir Richard Branson, Peter Drucker, Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett. Like I know you've heard some of these names either teach, own, or back up and really think network marketing is one of the most incredible ways to do business. And so that caught my eye. And so I ran hard for a few years, fitted into the nooks and crannies, did it at the same time that I had my other, my business, my jewelry design business. And I was able to create a wheel or an engine that continued to grow without me. So my story is I worked hard for a few years. I created this wheel. And when life happened, I got pregnant with my 3rd child. I was able to step outside of that leveraged engine, that wheel, and it continued to go without me. We had a fourth baby, and I just got to be mom. I got to be 100% mom, be there for my kids. And that's all I dreamed of. That's all I wanted. But my business didn't stop. And that is the beauty of what we do, is because we create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain, because you create, again, this wheel that continues to go. Life happened to me last year. 2019 was a rough year for me. I went through some really, hardships in my life. But again, because I was able to dig that well before I got thirsty, I didn't have to worry about how I was going to feed my babies. I didn't have to worry about how I was going to pay my bills, because I created a situation where everyone had the same amount to gain. And that's what I am so passionate about this industry, because I know it's not a, jump in and get rich type of thing that people unfortunately sell our industry as. It is a jump in, build a network of like-minded people, and create more time freedom. And time is, at the end of the day, I lost my mom last year, you guys. And at the end of the day, when I got that call and when I realized what was happening, I can tell you this: I didn't wish that I had more money. I didn't wish that I worked harder. I didn't wish anything except that I had more time with her. And I'm so grateful that I did have the last 7 years of her life to really spend with her, and she got to see me succeed and be the mom I wanted to be. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, everyone wants the same thing, and that is just more time with the people that we love, doing what we love, when we want to do it. So network marketing, you guys, is really, it's just real world business education. And that's what I've learned. It teaches the average person, you and I, really, or any person that has had no experience in business or maybe no training, how to build a successful organization and how to become a leader in business and in life. The concept of network marketing isn't so much about selling products that so many people think I got to be this incredible salesperson to succeed. It's more about building networks of like-minded people who want the same thing that you and I want. If you really want to build a big business, that's what it's about. You can sell products for sure in this industry, just like in any other industry where people are selling things. But in this industry, you have the opportunity to build networks of people who want the same thing as you: more time freedom, more choices, freedom to live life on your own terms and not on someone else's, which unfortunately so many of us sign up to do in this world. We punch in and punch out for somebody else. So the real difference about network marketing, about this industry and traditional business, or being an employee, maybe some of you are employees, is that you have the ability to leverage your efforts with the efforts of other people. So instead of trading your time for dollars, like let's say you go to work at your job for 8 hours, you're going to get paid for 8 hours. For me, it was whatever I could produce with my 2 hands and sell to my stores, I would get paid for that. But the difference with something like this is you're able to multiply your efforts. So you do your work one time and you get paid over and over and over again. And that is the beauty of this wheel that I'm talking about. Because when people fall in love with a unique product that's changing their life, especially if it's consumable, they're going to order it month after month after month. And that, to me, my friends, is security. Because when people are ordering something and you create this network of people sharing and sharing and sharing, that is an amazing thing that you've created. You've created that wheel that runs with or without you. So you're able, again, to create that economic wheel, and you also create that situation where everyone has the same amount to gain. So nobody is your boss. You're not anybody's boss. You don't have a boss. You don't have employees. And really, there's actually, no limit to how big you can grow something like this. So when done right, it's one of the most incredible ways to do business. And the reason for that is because you cannot become successful unless you help other people build their business. I absolutely love that. And, it's so different than corporate America or, the dog eat dog, that I don't want you to be better than me because you might steal my job. For my jewelry business, we got so big and we were growing so fast that I had to hire people to help me to create certain things. But I will tell you this, I was living in fear. I actually had people sign a waiver saying that they weren't going to steal my ideas and my creations that I had worked for years and years to create. But guess what? They still did. There's a ton of people that make what I make, because that's just the way competitive business is. But in this industry, I want to teach everyone who wants to win all of my secrets. I want everyone to be better than me, because if you're better than me, that helps me and that helps everybody. So the rising tide truly raises all ships, which is just one of the most remarkable ways that you can do business. So one more thing before I want to share a little video with you guys is the other beautiful thing. If you're a business-minded person, there's no overhead. There's no employee. You don't have to pay your employees. You don't have to create production costs or have a production lineup. You don't have to deal with shipping. Like, everything's taken care of for you, which is so amazing. You just have to open your mouth and share why you're excited, why this has changed your life, or what makes you inspired. Like me, obviously the business side of it makes me inspired because I know how much it can change people's life. So I want to share just a quick little 2-minute video by one of my personal mentors, Tony Robbins. He is one of the most incredible and sought after business mentors on the planet, and he is going to share why he believes network marketing is the business of the 21st century. So go ahead and press.
You've been around a long
Rusty.
time.
Thank you so much.
You've seen a lot of different things.
I have.
What are your thoughts about network marketing in general? What is your thoughts about the decision that people can make to become entrepreneurs using it?
Well, it's interesting. I'm doing this program right now, and I got a room, of a couple thousand people from 44 countries. They're all business owners. Some of them are businesses that are approaching $1 billion. Some of them haven't even started yet, right? They're just picking their business. So it's really variety. And one of my goals in that event is to actually get people to not go in business. And the reason it sounds horrible is someone spends $10,000 to come to an event, and I told them up front, some of you are not made for this, because to run a business requires a certain natural capacity, a nature, if you would, besides skills that you learn. And it's the ability to handle risk. It's the ability to handle stress. It's the ability to do a lot of different things. And you have to be able to manage finance. Most people, they have some of those skills. And that's why every year, 50% of businesses that start are out of business. You look at over any 5-year period of time, 80% are out of business, and over a 10-year period of time, only 4% make it. Now, make it, Eric, doesn't mean that they're making any money, right? That just means they're still standing. 96% fail, and after 10 years, you're set, right? No, look at Lehman Brothers, right? Around for a century. They did combined $1 trillion in revenue over that century, and they're gone. So the world, technology changes, products and services changes, it's so competitive. So to really be successful, it's a really unique situation. What's beautiful about network marketing is you get all the benefits of being an owner, but you don't have to be worrying about supply chain. You don't have to be worried about accounting, especially in the world we're in today. I mean, network marketing used to be a little bit more different, but today with technology, you can know what's happening in real time. The companies have already set up the software, they know what happens. So it's really picking the right company, and there's a lot of great companies in that area. And it's really realizing that you're really a value creator. If you can go out and add value to other people's lives, if you can just introduce people to a product or a service that a company you represent that truly is extraordinary, some products and services can't just be thrown up on Amazon. They need the story to be told. And if you found a product or service of that nature, and you got a company that has a generous schedule of being able to reward you, and then you begin to get leverage where it's not just you, where you've multiplied your efforts to other people, then you get all the benefits of being a business owner without all the headaches and without the same level of risk. And so I think network marketing is amazing. Now, network marketing has a mixed reputation, and we all know that, right, in the marketplace. And anybody goes out to it, what are you doing? That's why you got to own yourself as a professional. I think that's why I'm supportive of what you do, because you're not just pumping people up, you're giving people real skill sets to be a pro.
Was muted. So there's a couple things that he said in there that really, you can watch that whole interview of him on YouTube. You can find it, Tony Robbins and Eric Worre. But a couple things that he said, as far as businesses succeeding, and Jennifer Murray, who's going to share a little bit more, but she has an incredible story about how she had one of the most successful, delicious, amazing restaurants ever on the island of Kauai. And because business is just so hard to succeed at, even though her product was incredible, they had to close the doors because of the economy. And it just goes to show that you can have the most incredible product on the planet, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be successful. Now, what's brilliant about what we do is, like what he said also, that some products you can't, put it up on the shelf and it's not going to sell because there's a story that needs to be told. And that's what we found, is we found a product that the story is so unbelievable that it needs to be shared, and how it's changing lives. And so, as far as this industry, you guys, it's no small industry. It's quickly becoming one of the biggest in the world, really because of what's happening in the world right now with COVID, even before COVID happened, but even now more than ever, with millions and millions of jobs closing and millions of people being unemployed. The world is changing rapidly. Like he said, Tony said, with technology and AI, he believes that we're going to see more changes in the next 10 years than we have in the last 70. Think about that for a minute. I was just on the phone yesterday with a lovely girl, who lives out in, I think it was Michigan, and she was telling me that she's worked in the hospital industry, in the tech labs, and somewhere in doing something like that for the last 17 years. And her and 50 other of her employees just got notice that they're all losing their jobs. 50 people. And the reason is because technology is replacing their job. So there's a disruption in the marketplace. We all know that. We can either, see it and believe it or pretend it's not happening, but it is happening. And technology is going to replace more than 50% of the jobs and services we see today in the near future. And that is, honestly the truth. And as heartbreaking as it's happening. So with network marketing, the reason why it's so beautiful is because it gives us the opportunity to work from home anywhere that you have a phone, anywhere that you have service that you can work from. And there's over 200 million network marketers already in the world, spanning across hundreds of countries. And as millions and millions of jobs are disappearing, our industry is one of the fastest growing. So it's growing. So, since COVID, I know a lot of people are in such a hard place, but because we do what we do from home, our businesses have actually grown, not only because the way that we're able to do business with, Zoom technology in our phones, but also because we have an incredible product that's helping people with their health. So just a couple of statistics before I pass it back to Jennifer. You guys, really what this industry is offering is just this last year and this year alone, we're going to be bringing in over close to $450 billion in sales in the last 2 years. They say by 2025, which I think is even closer to 2024, $500 billion, $650 billion will be coming through this industry. So it's important from a business standpoint to understand how many people, they're estimating 80 million people are going to be looking for home-based businesses in the next 3 to 5 years because of where we are in the world. So there has never been a better time to look at something like this, to take it seriously, to open up the mind and really see, maybe I have to look at doing business a little bit differently because of how much the world is changing. So I'm going to go into a little bit about why, the low risk and the flexibility and the tax benefits. There's a couple things that I want to touch on, but I'm going to pass it back to you, Jen, and then you can pass it back to me. We'll wrap it up in the next 5-7 minutes.
All right. Thanks, Julie. Yes, we do care about the products quite a lot. In fact, we probably spend most of our time talking about the products to people because there is that education step. So our company used to be a retail company. First of all, our company was started by scientists. So scientists are really great at looking through microscopes and making observations, not so great at marketing the products that they develop. It started off as a retail company. And what we're doing is sitting on the shelves at that point next to products that are so different than ours. Our category is called nutrigenomics. Most people have never heard of that. And certainly most stores did not have a little sign to put under our products saying nutrigenomics. So nutrigenomics literally means we're using nutrients to affect genetic expression. So big topic, something that most people who are working in the stores were not able to answer questions about. There's no space on the shelf really for nutrigenomics yet. Yet another reason why on an entrepreneurial level, it's a stellar opportunity, right? So being that this was created by scientists, also got a lot of recognition from other scientists. Washington State University in 2015 put out a study concluding that our products, like the whole, nutrigenomic aspect of our products called NRF2 activation, is likely to become the most therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So, would you like to know what that is or have access to that well before most people on the planet have really had a chance to hear about it? So what are we doing with this health breakthrough? The entire point of these scientists was to increase our health span, to make it so that our lifespan and our health span are the same, that we don't have to, look forward to this period of our lives where we're suffering and we're in pain. And I got to experience that firsthand at 38 years old when I was in a lot of pain and I took these products and the pain went away. So it's pretty huge stuff. Genetic tuning, I like to think of it as just as a piano, as it ages, also needs to be tuned, right? A piano has all the keys. You can see them on the outside. If you lift up, if you lift it up, what do you see inside? A very complex web of interacting pieces. And that is what human beings are too, right? A very complex web of interaction. And these products are focused on your cellular health and your cellular wellness, a foundation, creating a foundation of health that essentially makes no room for disease. Once you're basically able to return your body to its brilliant design, then it functions better. I don't think that these products healed my back pain and my migraines. They just got in there and created the health that is the intentional design of the human body. And, on a detailed level, what are they doing? Well, we're reducing oxidative stress. If you go ahead and look up oxidative stress, you're going to know in about 3.5 minutes that you don't want any part of it, that you want to reduce it as much as possible. And usually what we're doing in our LifeVantage careers is sort of educating people about oxidative stress and genetic tuning. We are detoxifying our cells. We are cleaning up cells. We are healing the mitochondrial process, things that are really above the pay grade of most of us that are out here talking about it. These aren't things that I understood anything about before I got involved with this. I just knew what my experience with the pain was. And I knew that there are a lot of other people out there that do not want to keep their pain. And so getting the word out about this was just the next logical step, for a lot of us. So take your health back into your hands. We're helping you to recognize a golden ticket here. I know that when it comes to us, a lot of us really have no idea that it's sitting in our hands. It can look very innocent, but there's something really powerful here. So like Julie was just explaining, and I'll pass it back to you to wrap it up, Jules.
Sweet. Thank you for that. And yeah, the science, you guys, is crazy. It's unbelievable. And that's why I'm glad that she is able to do it so eloquently. And also you can understand that you can't put that on a label. It needs to be shared. And when you have experiences, human experiences, that's where the sharing comes in and works so beautifully. So just a couple things that I want to touch on is, why it's so great for the average person, the low risk of getting involved. For less $1,000 or less, you can get involved with a company such as ours, and really create what it's now become for me in a small amount of time, and many of us, a multi-million-dollar business. Unfortunately, that's also a double-edged sword for some people, because you get involved with such a low amount cost and you don't take it seriously. So when the going gets tough, like any other business that you're ever going to open, a lot of people quit. And then that's why people are like, oh, it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work. You just haven't put the efforts in to make it work. The flexibility that you can build your business anywhere in the world in the palm of your hand. That's where we're going in this new economy, in this new world. If you're a mom, you fit it into the nooks and crannies. If you're a college student, you fit it in. If you have another full-time job, you're working full-time on your job and part-time on your fortune. It's just such a beautiful way that you can fit it into your life. The residual income asset that I already touched on, creating that generational wealth that will continue to outlive you. You guys, the tax benefits. I just learned this the other day and I want to share this with you. You can keep your job. This isn't like quit everything and just do this, but if you keep your job, if you're lucky enough to even still have one, but the moment you start a home-based business, or that you start your own business, the tax laws shift in your favor. And just by having a network marketing business, you can save over $7,000 a year. And that is real. So that's something to think about. $7,000 a year you can save by having a business like this. The community that you're involved with, the purpose that you all of a sudden have, this purpose of helping other people, and you're connected to a group of like-minded people that not only want to help you succeed, but that love and care about other people. And especially, I think you can all agree that that's something that we can all use more of in this time and day. So the personal development side of this, you guys, just keep something that I learned early on is that your income will never far exceed your personal and business development. Public education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. It's really about educating yourself, and really what that means is just becoming bigger than your problems and learning how to find that solution. So I learned, the day that turned my life around was the day that I realized that I didn't want what I had anymore, and that I was willing to do something about it. And I knew for things to change, I had to change. And I was so grateful that this golden ticket landed in my lap, that I took it seriously, and that I found other people that also wanted something more out of their life. So I'm going to end it on this. I'm going to just, this isn't for everyone. I'm going to say it straight up. This isn't for everyone. Most people are afraid of change. or they're just comfortable going to work for someone else because they don't know any other way. And that's okay. We need people to work normal, regular jobs. We really do. But maybe you're like me and Jennifer. Maybe you're like the friend that had introduced you and invited you to this call. Maybe you're a dreamer. Maybe you're an achiever. Maybe you think outside the box. You like to challenge the status quo. And ultimately, you just want more out of your life. Because you guys, this is what I know. Network marketing isn't perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. But being a business owner and being an employee and being a mom and just being someone that wants to succeed in life, I know that it is better. I honestly know that this is better. So I want you to ask you a question. I want you to take 5 to 10 minutes of your life today. And I want you to close your eyes and I want you to envision what your future looks like. I want you to think about, who are you with? What does your health look like? What does your family look like? What does your finances look like? And I want you to ask yourself, this question: do I have a plan to get me to a better future? And if you do, if you're on that path to creating that future that you desire, then this probably isn't for you. But if you don't have a plan, if you are hoping that you find a solution, that you're hoping that someone, brings you something that can enhance your life and give you what you want, then I just want you to take a hard, honest look at this, because so many people unfortunately close the door, won't even give it a chance, and they close the door to an incredible life for themselves. And this is what I do know, is I know that we're all going through a lot right now. I know the world is hurting. I know that we're unsure of what's going to come. And I know that we're all going through this at the same time. One of my favorite quotes by Jim Rohn, a mentor of mine, and a lot of you who know me, I say this a lot: the same wind blows on us all. The wind of change, the economic wind, the wind of abundance, the wind of hardships. The same wind blows on us all. Right now, the wind of, like I said, COVID, or the presidential wind that's crazy. It's not the blowing of the wind that determines your destination. It's the set of your sail. And I can promise you that if you don't have a way to set a better sail, network marketing and this industry and our company can give you that, if that's what you're looking for. So I'm gonna, leave it at that. And Jennifer, thank you so much. You guys, thank you for being on. Please, the person that invited you to this call, if you're a guest, will get back to you and ask you, some honest questions, ask you some true questions. What did you like best? Do you have any questions? You can, we're available to reach out to at any time to share more of our story with you. And I hope you feel our honest heart that we just love what we do, and we're so grateful that you were here. And with that, we'll wrap it up and call it a day. So thank you for joining us on the Golden Ticket, everyone. Aloha.